Yo, Lord aka Mega Blitz. In today's video, we're looking at another Charizard EX deck. Now, this just past Wednesday, I had made a video about Charizard EX and Pidgeot EX potentially being the best deck in format. However, there's another partner that has been getting paired with Charizard EX that a lot of people are kind of forgetting about, it seems. And I wanted to take the moment today to just talk about that deck, show some gameplay of it, because I feel like it's a deck that a lot of people are sleeping on, and it has a lot of potential, and I've been playing it quite a bit myself. So let's jump right in to that deck list. Alrighty, and here we are at that deck list, Charizard with Bibarel, or Bib Zard as we've all been calling it. Now, before we go over the full deck list here, I just want to go over some of the cool things that you're able to do in Bib Zard that I really enjoy about the deck. You're able to play Technical Machine Evolution in the deck, being able to evolve Charmanders into Charmeleons on your bench and Bidoofs into Bibarels. So that really helps out against any deck that might be playing Technical Machine De-Evolution, where it's going to force you to burn through rare candies and things like that. So we're actually being able to cut down to 3 rare candy because of that Technical Machine Evolution, at the same time being able to just tech us and help us against Technical Machine De-Evolution feels really good. Now, for the ace spec of choice, I have Maximum Belt in here, but I've played Bib Zard quite a bit with both Prime Catcher and Maximum Belt, and both of them feel good for different reasons. Maximum Belt being able to just help you very early in the game to take some very key knockouts that you might end up not having enough damage for against things like Iron Hands or something like that, where you're able to just put that Maximum Belt on and get to that 230 damage. Feels really nice. But Prime Catcher being able to just have a nice gust option when needed at any point. So the last thing that I really enjoy about Bib Zard is you're able to play Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking in here, which says search your deck for 2 cards, shuffle your deck, and then put those 2 cards on top in whatever order you want, and then you're able to actually Industrious Incisors into potentially those 2 cards. So there's been a couple times when playing Bib Zard, I've used Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, found Counter Catcher and Defiance Band or Maximum Belt, put them on top, Industrious Incisors into those cards, attach Defiance Band or Maximum Belt, use Counter Catcher to pull up something in the active spot, and take a key knockout pretty early on in the game. So for the full deck list here, we got 2 Heat Tackle Charmander, 1 Blazing Destruction Charmander, 1 Ember Charmander, 1 Charmeleon with 100 HP to kind of just protect us a little bit more against that Radiant Greninja Moonlight Shuriken, 1 90 HP Charmeleon with that Flare Veil ability, 3 Charizard EX, 3 Bidoof, 3 Bibarel, 1 Jirachi, 1 Lumineon V, 1 Manaphy, 1 Radiant Charizard, 4 Arven, 3 Boss, 3 Iona, 1 Professor Turo's Scenario, 1 Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Buddy Poffin, 3 Rare Candy, 2 Super Rod, 2 Nest Ball, 1 Counter Catcher, 1 Last Vacuum, 2 Technical Machine Evolution, 1 Maximum Belt, 1 Defiance Band, 1 Collapsed Stadium, and 7 Fire Energies. Alrighty, let's jump right in to that gameplay. Alrighty, and here we are at that Bib Zard gameplay. At the coin flip here, unfortunately, we do not end up winning that coin flip. So the cool thing about playing Charizard decks is that going first or second doesn't really matter. If you're going first, sure, you'll be able to evolve into Charizards and into Bibarels or Pidgeots or whatever version you're playing before your opponent will be able to evolve. However, going second allows you to use Arven to find that Buddy Poffin, or just find that Nest Ball into Forest Sealstone, or just any of those missing pieces to just get set up. It feels a lot better. So we're playing against Lost Tina here, and our starting hand's pretty good. I got a Charmander up in the active. We already got a Buddy Poffin in our hand. We're going to be able to Arven find another one potentially on our turn as well. We got Jirachi, Charmeleon, Boss, and Iono as well. So pretty decent starting hand. And we're going to find ourselves into that Nest Ball as well. So Buddy Poffin going to get Charmander and Bidoof here. And then we're going to play that Arven, finding ourselves another Buddy Poffin in that Technical Machine Evolution. Just doing a quick search to see what items I have access to and what's in the prize cards. We're going to Buddy Poffin for another Charmander and another Bidoof. Then we're going to Nest Ball for that Manaphy. And now the reason I Nest Ball for Manaphy is because if they were able to pull off a Radiant Greninja play next turn, they'd be able to take 2 KOs onto 2 Charmanders and going to put them at a 4-6 split. Now, I don't really want to have to deal with that. So we also don't put that Technical Machine Evolution on anything, so we don't have an energy to evolve anything into, which feels kind of bad. We want to be able to do that hopefully on our first turn attacking. That's why another reason why going second is really nice in Bib Zard, because using that Technical Machine Evolution allows you to just evolve anyway and still set up at the same time. So we're going to evolve that Charmander into Charmeleon here. I put it didn't do too much on their last turn. Just kind of flower selecting a couple times and evolved Giratina V into V-Star. Iono here going to find me into a Fire Energy for that Technical Machine evolution. Be able to evolve in Bibarel here. Now I will say, I did misplay a little bit here. I Ultra Balled for the Bibarel, and I should have Ultra Balled for the Charizard EX instead. But I'm going to Industrious Incisors, draw up till I have 5 cards in hand, attach the Defiance Band to that Charmeleon here to be able to Industrious Incisors for 1 card, finding into Collapsed Stadium. Now, playing Collapsed Stadium doesn't make too much of a difference right now. And the reason I misplay is my one Charmeleon is in the prize cards, and when you evolve Charmeleon into Charizard, it has to be from your hand and not from the deck. So had I just Ultra Balled for Charizard EX, I would be able to evolve it next turn from my hand, get the 2 energies onto it, and still be able to use that Technical Machine evolution from a Bidoof to the Bibarel, and still have it have value per se. Now, the other thing that I guess isn't too big of a deal is at least we're thinning the deck a little bit, so getting that Charizard evolved doesn't feel too bad, because we will be able to eventually Infernal Rain some energies onto it, or just attach them for turn or anything like that. Our opponent here going to be able to play Colress, going to be able to get some Flower Selectings rolling. Going to play that Pokestop here. Roll the Pokestop, get 2 Nest Balls off that Pokestop. And they're also in a position where they're going to be able to attack with Cramorant this turn, taking a KO on our active Charmander, which does feel a little bad because we would have been able to Arven, find Rare Candy into Charizard, and then just take a KO. However, have them take a KO this early on doesn't hurt us too bad. So we're going to be able to bench that other Charmander here. Arven, finding ourselves Rare Candy and a Maximum Belt. And the reason I grabbed Maximum Belt here is because I might possibly need it for that Giratina V-Star. However, I end up actually just discarding it to Ultra Ball later on. So we're going to Infernal Rain, put 2 energies onto the active Charizard, 1 to the bench Charizard here, and then we're going to Ultra Ball away Maximum Belt and Bibarel to find myself Jirachi. And the reason I find Jirachi is because my opponent has the chance to Star Requiem our active Charizard the next turn, which would allow me to be able to bench this Jirachi and start protecting things from things against Sableye, so they couldn't Lost Mine or anything. So that's why I ended up discarding that Maximum Belt there. And plus, putting that Maximum Belt onto a Charizard, I would also need to find Boss at some point, which is doable. However, I would need to be able to find Boss and then have my opponent take 1 more KO on top of the other one they already had, because I'm already at 210, and they take another KO, it's going to put me at 240. The Maximum Belt will put me at 290, so my opponent would have to take at least 1 more KO, and the way they're going right now, the only KOs they're going to be taking are probably on Charizards. They're not really in a position where they're going to start Lost Mining and putting like 12 on a Bibarel or anything. They can't Radiant Greninja because they got Manaphy on the bench as well, so discarding Maximum Belt just felt right in the moment. They're going to be able to bench that Radiant Greninja there, conceal cards, Flower Selecting, Lost Vacuum, bumping our Defiance Band off of our Charizard EX here, just starting to get as much cards in the Lost Zone as they possibly can, trying to get the 10 to potentially pull off that Star Requiem. They are at 11, so they're just trying to dig for those last couple pieces that they're going to need here, trying to just maybe find themselves into like Mirage Gate, into that Grass Energy, into that Psychic Energy, to be able to retreat out of the Comfey into the Giratina V-Star. However, they misstep a little bit, and I don't think they have access to that Grass Energy currently, so they end up having to Mirage Gate a Psychic Energy and a Water Energy to that Radiant Greninja for the Water, and the Psychic Energy to that Giratina V-Star. They're going to retreat out of that Comfey into another Comfey, Flower Selecting, Super Rod here, put that Giratina V and that Water Energy back into the deck. Or they elected to just not take the Star Requiem KO this turn because it would put me in a position where I would potentially be able to maybe take a huge counter KO, but the math doesn't quite add up. So I'm not too sure what they were thinking there. My guess is they just misstepped a little bit. So we're going to Rare Candy into Charizard EX here. Going to be able to Infernal Rain, getting 2 energies, 1 to the other Charizard and 1 to this Charizard. It doesn't really matter how I would have put him on there, but I wanted to make myself feel like the other Charizard is at least relevant and can do something. So we're going to play the Iono here, getting ourselves into Lumineon, Professor True, Sonario, Arven, and then we're going to Super Rod, Nest Ball, and then also Super Rod, Radiant Charizard, and Fire Energy back into the deck here. Be able to Burning Darkness for 210 KO on that Comfey, putting us at a 4-5 split. Going to be able to also get a Fire Energy off that prize card. So we're going to be able to attach the Fire Energy from our hand to the other Charizard EX. We're going to have 3 Charizards just ready to go. It's kind of crazy because a lot of the times you only end up getting maybe 2 at most set up and ready. So the fact that we're going to have 3 Charizards just ready to attack and start going is going to be kind of insane. So going to be able to just flower sledding a little bit here, get a Sableye on that bench. They're going to put up that Giratina V-Star here. Now they're going to Lost Impact. Now, the reason they probably lost Impact is because they're potentially trying to set up for maybe a Sableye later on in the turn, or maybe trying to just use it, take a KO with like Radiant Greninja or something. I'm not too sure. Me being a Lost Tina player a lot in our previous rotation, I would have 100% Requiemed right there. But I guess you put yourself in a position where you could just save yourself from the counter KO. So we're actually going to Turo Scenario pick up that active Charizard EX that had all the 280 damage counters. So it makes that Lost Impact not feel as relevant. Burning Darkness for 210 here to that Giratina V-Star. Now they're in a position where Star Requiem is almost the only attack that really makes sense to use, because using that Turo Scenario put me in a position where I can bench that Jirachi, so Sableye is a little bit irrelevant right now. And you have to Star Requiem, put yourself in a position where, sure, you go up on prize cards at a 4-3 split here, but I'm going to be able to counter KO and then go up 2 more prize cards, putting us at a 2-3 split. I am going to bench that Charmander here, and I'm going to play Arven. And now, when I go to play this Arven, it doesn't really matter what I grab. I end up electing to grab the Super Rod here, just so I can put some Fire Energies back into the deck. I didn't really need any of the Fire Energies. I end up putting just 3 Fire Energies right back into the deck because I have Rare Candy Charizard in my hand. So Super Rod is the right play there. However, if you kind of grab like Lost Vacuum, remove that Pokestop or something, it still would be pretty relevant because it would at least slow down my opponent from being able to kind of mill some things, trying to find that maybe that Mirage Gate or something. So going to be able to take 2 more prize cards here at a 2-3 split. Now, we're in a position where we only got to take 2 more KOs. Them benching that Giratina V there doesn't matter too much. We do have Boss in hand, so we will be able to boss up that Giratina V. So a little bit of a misplay for them there, benching that Giratina. You have 0 reason to actually bench the Tina. You should be trying to just recycle Sableye and try to go that route. However, we're going to be able to just boss up that Giratina V here, taking a KO on that Giratina V, taking our last 2 prize cards. They also ended up decking themselves. Had they not decked themselves, it wouldn't have mattered. I would have been able to just take 2 KOs on 2 single prize Pokemon and still won the game anyway. Alrighty, let's jump right in to that outro. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for today's video. Absolutely incredible. I'm gonna pick up the W there with that Bib Zard deck. And I'll make sure to put the deck list that I played in this video in the description below, so you guys want to try it out for yourself, you'll be able to. If you guys been enjoying the content I've been making sure for the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!